In this video, we're gonna go over the top 3 skills you need to be successful when it comes to inbound closing. And you wanna make sure you watch this video until the end, because if you're just missing one of these skills, it's gonna be extremely difficult to succeed in this career path. What's going on, everybody? My name is Patrick Dang. Before we go ahead and get started, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to see more videos like this. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So if you are looking to be an inbound closer, the first skill you absolutely must have is the willingness to learn. And this is not only really a skill, but it's also a mentality. So if you're thinking about starting any type of sales career, right? Whether it's inbound closing, business development, sales development, whatever it is, you gotta have people skills. And chances are, if you're watching this video, maybe you don't have a lot of experience when it comes to dealing with people or learning how to sell. And that's totally okay, because everybody has to start somewhere, right? Nobody automatically starts out with a load of experience. But the most important part, if you do want to succeed in sales and inbound closing, is your willingness to learn and your ability to learn. And so from a raw learning perspective, you got to ask yourself, what books are you reading? What courses are you taking? What kind of videos are you watching on YouTube? What kind of information are you taking in and processing to learn how to actually become a better seller? And for me, when I personally started my sales career years ago, I read all the sales books I could find. I listened to audio tapes, I watched videos, basically anything I could learn about sales, I was doing that. And although learning is very important, you can't just read a book or listen to an audio book and automatically think you're good at selling. You actually have to take these lessons that you learn, wherever you learn them, and actually apply it into the real world and execute so that you can actually practice what you just learned, right? Most people, they just read a book and then they forget everything. And then when it comes to actually selling, they don't really use the techniques that they learned. So be aware of this. When you learn something, you gotta apply it. And not only that, when you apply it, if it works, you have to analyze why it worked and see how you can do it even better. And if the strategies and tactics didn't really work for you or didn't fit your style, well, you have to go back to the drawing board and say, what exactly do I need to fix here? How can I improve the process so that when I'm on my next call, I can actually increase my closing ratio? And it's true that for some people, selling may come naturally, right? There can be a part of nature, part of it, or maybe nurture, whether your environment put you in situations when you're growing up where you're around people a lot and you have to have people skills. But either way, sales skills and people skills in general is a skill that can be learned even if you're not a natural way in the beginning. And for me personally, when I was growing up from the age of, from a baby all the way to 17 years old, I was extremely shy and extremely quiet. And back then it would be shocking to find that, I would start a career in sales. But over the years, I was tired of being shy and quiet and awkward, and I wanted to break out of my shell. And so that's why I started going really hard in communication skills and, decided to become a salesperson after I graduated from university. And even now, because I struggled so much back in the day, that I feel like sales is one of the most important skills you can learn in life. And now I'm actually teaching you guys how to become better sellers. So it kind of went full circle. So my point of this is to share with you that, if you're not a natural in sales, that's totally okay. I wasn't a natural when I was starting out, but I was able to learn these skills through books, audio tapes, courses, whatever it took, and actually practicing and analyzing how to get better. But it's a process that you're gonna go through over years of your life, and you're continuously going to get better and better as a communicator. So again, the most important lesson that I have for you guys for that one is your willingness and ability to learn. Now, the second skill you gotta have when it comes to being successful in sales and inbound closing is going to be prospecting. Now, if you see any ads about inbound closing or high ticket closing or anything in this manner, you gotta realize that for inbound closing, a lot of times, when they kind of pitch the idea to you, they say like, you're gonna be taking calls on the phone, all the leads are gonna come in warm, and so all you gotta do is close the deal, right? So that's fair. However, one thing you have to realize is that to actually get a position like that where leads are coming in hot and all you gotta do is close them, it's quite competitive if you think about it, right? Because you wanna think it's like an easy job. So the hard part sometimes is, getting in the right position to even get that job. And when it comes to getting a job or working as a freelancer or a contractor or like a freelance salesperson, you have to do a lot of prospecting to find great opportunities that fit for you, right? So if you're not good at prospecting, meaning making a list of people you want to work with, reaching out to them and generating meetings and getting them on the phone to see if they will hire you, well, if you don't have that skill, you're not going to get the best opportunities. Without the best opportunities, you're not going to get opportunities to sell, and you don't really make money. So that's why prospecting, whether you're doing inbound closing or if you're doing any other type of sales, right, especially as entry-level sales, you gotta be good at prospecting. And that's really just identifying who you wanna work with, why you wanna work with them, and sending out either cold email, LinkedIn messages, or cold calling, whichever works best in your industry. Generate that appointment to see if they will hire you, right? So if you work hard on the prospecting side and you get your foot in the door at a good company with lots of hot leads coming in and all you gotta do is take them over the phone, then you're in a winning position. But the only way to do that is to learn how to do sales prospecting. And I got a lot of videos on sales prospecting, so if you want to check that out after this video, check out some other videos on my channel. But diving a little more deeper into sales prospecting, sometimes, you may not be able to find a job where they have hot leads coming in, right? Because, sometimes that's a rarity depending on your niche. So, in other sales job where, you can always find an opening is that these companies, other companies, are going to hire people who do outbound sales or outbound lead generation, and you have to close your own deals. Meaning instead of, inbound where they do marketing and then they give you a lead from marketing and you get on the phone and you close, right? That's inbound. Outbound is essentially, they don't have any marketing and maybe they have a website, but they don't do anything with it. And it's your job to make a list of people that might be a good fit for that company, send them a cold email, LinkedIn message, or cold call, generate a meeting, and then close the sale. And it's a lot more difficult because you're reaching out to people cold and they have no idea who you are. But if you're able to get that meeting and generate interest and close a deal, well, you'll be able to make money, right? In the event where you can't find a job where it's only inbound, right, which is common, you gotta learn how to do outbound so that you're always in the job. You're never gonna be out of the job if you know how to generate leads with strangers, cold, right? And at scale, meaning you're generating multiple appointments every single day and you know how to close. If you can do that, if you can generate leads and close, well, you're always going to have a job and you don't have to rely on other people's marketing because you can generate interest on your own. And that's pretty much the job of an effective sales rep. And of course, if you can do those things, you're gonna get paid very well. Now, moving on to the third skill you gotta have when it comes to sales and inbound closing is you gotta know how to listen, okay? So contrary to popular belief, some people believe that, if you watch like The Wolf of Wall Street or any kind of sales movie, you might think that the best salespeople are the best talkers, the most charismatic, the ones who's on stage and doing the rah-rah. However, in reality, if you, from my experience working at Oracle and Silicon Valley and stuff like that, the best salespeople aren't always who you expect them to be. A lot of times the best salespeople are not the best talkers, but they're the best listeners, right? Meaning they know how to, listen to the customer, understand what they want in life, understand their challenges, what's blocking them, and they really know how to position their product or service as the solutions to their prospect's problem, making it a no-brainer for that prospect to buy their product and service. So it's not about, you do have to be effective when it comes to communicating as a salesperson, obviously, but it's not what you really think, right? You don't have to be the Wolf of Wall Street coming in and, like forcing people to buy. Instead, you really just have to be good at asking questions and seeing what people want. When you align what people want with what your product and service is, they're gonna buy without you having to sell. You see the difference over there? You're not pushing a product, you're positioning, and then they're gonna buy themselves because you position so well, it becomes an obvious no-brainer that when they purchase your product and service, their pains go away. And for me personally, for my sales calls and what I teach my students, typically, it doesn't always have to be the case, you want to be talking 20% of the time and you want to be listening 80% of the time, right? So when you're in a sales meeting, you're basically going to talk in the beginning, ask a bunch of questions, listen to your prospects, ask a bunch of more questions, get them talking even more to understand their pains and situations and see, emotionally what they really want and their desires. And then at the end, you talk a little bit more and you pitch your product and service based on what you heard throughout the sales meeting, right? So, other people, they're gonna pitch in the beginning, pitch. And then, some people say yes, some people say no. That works, but it's not the best way. So what you wanna do instead of just pitching is you want to set the expectations for the meeting, ask a bunch of questions, at the end, pitch your product and service as a solution to the pains that the prospect gave you during the time when you were asking the questions, and then it's gonna be easy for you to sell. So remember, if you're gonna be a salesperson, you want to be listening more than you speak. Of course, you gotta be a good communicator, but you want to be an even better listener. And so with that said, those are gonna be my 3 skills that you absolutely must need if you wanna be successful in inbound closing and sales in general. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more videos like this. And let me know in the comments if you want me to create more videos about inbound closing or videos about how to start your sales career. And I'm actually curious, if you're watching this, are you, someone who doesn't have sales experience and you want to get into sales? If that's the case, let me know in the comments so I can start making more videos about how to really break into this industry and not just look at inbound closing as an opportunity, but really look at all the different sales opportunities because it's much bigger than you may realize. So let me know in the comments if that's something you are interested in. And one last thing, if you want to see more videos about sales and inbound closing, make sure to check out my other videos. With that said, my name is Patrick Dang. Hope you guys got some value out of this one, and I will see you guys in the next one.